Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Jane, and with me as always is the brilliant Lucy. Today, we're tackling a topic that, honestly, I think almost everyone struggles with at some point, especially when you're navigating new territory like a new job, or even just trying to sound more confident in your English.
Exactly, Jane. And it's something I've personally had to work really hard on. We're talking about the S word, sorry. Specifically, stopping saying sorry like it's a reflex, when often it's not actually necessary or even helpful. I mean, how many times have you caught yourself doing it for something completely trivial?
Oh, too many to count, Lucy. I remember early in my career, I'd say sorry to bother you just before asking a legitimate question to my manager. Or, sorry, can I just jump in here? When I absolutely had a right to contribute to the conversation. It was almost like a verbal tick.
Right? And it becomes this kind of default filler word, doesn't it? Like you're constantly apologizing for your existence, for taking up space, for having an opinion. And I think it's particularly prevalent for people learning English or those starting a new job, where there's that underlying anxiety of wanting to make a good impression and not step on anyone's toes.
Absolutely. Let's break down why this happens. First, culturally, some backgrounds encourage more deference or humility, and sorry can be a way to express that. But in many English-speaking professional environments, especially in Western cultures, it can inadvertently undermine your confidence or leadership potential.
And it's not just cultural. I think, subconsciously, we use sorry as a softener. We want to be polite. We don't want to come across as demanding or aggressive. But there's a huge difference between being polite and being perpetually apologetic.
Totally. Think about it. When you're constantly apologizing for small things, it diminishes the impact of a genuine apology when you actually make a significant mistake. It dilutes the meaning. And for someone new to a job, it can project an image of insecurity, even if you're incredibly competent.
I can definitely relate to that new job scenario. When you're onboarding, everything is new. You're asking a million questions, you're trying to learn the systems, the processes, the people. There's a natural learning curve. And it's easy to feel like you're being a burden, so you tack on a sorry to every request.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine you're at your new desk, and you need to ask a colleague where to find a document. Instead of saying, sorry, can you tell me where the client files are, you could say, excuse me, could you point me to the client files? One sounds like you're imposing, the other is direct and polite.
That's such a great example. And it's such a small shift. But the impact is huge. It really changes how you're perceived and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. Because when you stop apologizing for valid actions, you start feeling more entitled to take up space.
Right, so let's talk about some really practical alternatives. What are some key situations where people tend to over-apologize, and what can they say instead?
Okay, so the first big one is interruptions. How many times have you said sorry to interrupt, but?
Constantly. Or, sorry, can I just say something?
Instead of sorry to interrupt, try excuse me or may I add something here. If it's a meeting and you need to make an important point, you can say, I'd like to jump in here for a moment, or could I share a thought on that? It's confident, clear, and respects everyone's time.
Those are excellent. And what about when you're a bit late, maybe to a meeting or a call? The default is often sorry I'm late.
Okay, so if it's genuinely just a minute or two and you've already communicated you'd be slightly delayed, a quick thanks for your patience or appreciate you waiting can be much more effective. It acknowledges their time without over-apologizing. If it's a bigger delay, a concise, my apologies for the delay, I'm here now is fine, but then shift focus to the content of the meeting.
I love that. Thanks for your patience frames it positively, highlighting their understanding rather than your transgression. It's a great reframe. What about when you've genuinely made a small mistake, something minor that needs correcting?
This is a key one. Instead of, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I completely messed that up, which can sound panicked, try, my apologies, I'll fix that right away. Or, you're right, I missed that, I'll correct it immediately. Focus on the solution, not just the apology. It shows accountability and proactivity.
That's huge, because in a professional setting, people care more about you rectifying the issue than dwelling on the mistake itself. You acknowledge it, you own it, and then you move to resolve it. That builds trust.
Exactly. And let's not forget when you're asking someone to clarify something. A common one is sorry, I don't understand, which again implies fault on your part.
Oh, that's such a good point, Lucy. Especially in a new job, where you're just learning the ropes. It's completely normal to need clarification.
Right. So instead, try to clarify that for me, please, or could you explain that in more detail? Or even, to make sure I've understood correctly, are you saying, these phrases are assertive, clear, and show you're engaged and eager to learn, not apologetic for not knowing something yet.
And that's so much more effective, especially in a team environment. You're actually helping ensure everyone is on the same page. You're not just taking up space, you're contributing to clarity. It's a complete mindset shift, isn't it?
It really is, and it applies so much to the daily routine at a new job aspect. Think about your first few weeks. You're learning the tools, the internal jargon, the unspoken rules. You might struggle with a software, or take a little longer to complete a task. Don't apologize for being in a learning phase.
Yes, instead of sorry, this is taking me a while to get the hang of, you can say, I'm still getting up to speed with this system, but I'm making progress. Or if you need help, could you walk me through this part again? It's owning your learning process without diminishing yourself.
Exactly. It communicates I'm learning and I'm confident I will master this rather than I'm sorry I'm not perfect yet. And managers, good managers anyway, expect a ramp-up period. They want to see you taking initiative to learn, not just apologizing for your current knowledge gaps.
Such a key distinction. Let's think about meetings again. What if someone thanks you for your contribution? Do you ever find yourself saying, "Oh, sorry, it was nothing," or "Sorry, I just mentioned what I thought"?
Oh, absolutely. It's that instinct to deflect praise, especially as women, I think. But it's so important to just accept it. A simple, "You're welcome," or "Glad I could help," or "Thank you, I appreciate that," is perfect. Don't diminish your input.
Yeah, and that's something I actively tell people in my coaching sessions. When someone gives you a compliment or acknowledges your work, just say thank you. No need to add sorry or make excuses. You earned that recognition.
It's about having that self-respect and acknowledging your value. Another situation where sorry creeps in is when you need to decline something, like a request or an invitation. Instead of "Sorry, I can't do that," or "Sorry, I'm too busy," which feels like you're excusing yourself for having boundaries.
Right, like you need permission to say no, which you absolutely don't.
Exactly. You can say, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I won't be able to this time," or "I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to pass." You can even add a brief reason if appropriate, like "My plate is full right now, but the apology isn't required." It's respectful to decline politely without feeling the need to apologize for managing your own time and priorities.
That's a powerful one, especially at a new job where you might be tempted to say yes to everything to prove yourself. Learning to set boundaries early and politely without a sorry is a massive asset. It prevents burnout and ensures you can dedicate your best effort to your core responsibilities.
It totally is. And it's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about being direct and respectful of your own capacity. It's about communication efficiency. In a professional environment, people value clear, concise communication.
So, for our listeners, especially those starting a new job, how can they begin to implement this? It feels like such a deeply ingrained habit for many.
Great question. My first tip would be awareness. Start noticing when you say sorry. Just observe it. You don't have to change it immediately. Just become conscious of the triggers. Is it when you're asking for help, when you're expressing an opinion, when someone bumps into you?
Yeah, I remember doing that. It was shocking how often sorry just popped out without me even thinking about it, like a little automatic verbal reflex.
Right. Once you're aware, pick one or two common scenarios where you frequently apologize unnecessarily. Maybe it's asking for clarification. And consciously practice the alternative phrases we discussed. "Could you clarify?" instead of "Sorry, I don't get it."
It's like building a new muscle memory for your mouth, isn't it? Small, consistent efforts.
Absolutely. And don't beat yourself up if you slip up. It's a habit, it takes time to change. Just acknowledge it and try again next time.
Another practical tip, especially for a new job, is to think about the intent behind your communication. Are you genuinely regretting something, or are you just trying to be polite?
That's a fantastic filter to run it through. If your intent is politeness, there are so many other ways to achieve that without diminishing your presence. "Thank you," "Excuse me, please," "I appreciate," these are all inherently polite.
Exactly, and consider your body language too. If you're saying "excuse me" but you're slumped over and avoiding eye contact, it still sends a message of insecurity. Stand tall, make eye contact, and let your words match your posture.
That's such a critical point, Lucy. Nonverbal cues are so powerful. It's all part of presenting yourself confidently. And this is particularly important in a new job, where first impressions can really set the tone for how people perceive your competence and potential. You want to convey capability, not diffidence.
Right, and it feeds into your daily routine. If you start your day feeling apologetic for every interaction, it drains your energy. But if you walk into the office or log onto your calls with an attitude of, "I'm here, I'm ready to contribute," it shifts your entire workday experience.
It really does. So, to recap for everyone, be aware of your sorry habit, identify specific situations where you can swap it out, practice those alternative phrases, and remember your body language. It's about being genuinely polite and effective, not about constantly apologizing for existing.
And remember, your colleagues and managers at your new job want you to succeed. They hired you for a reason. Asking questions, clarifying things, and taking a moment to learn are all part of the process. Don't apologize for doing your job, especially when you're just getting started. Perfectly said, Lucy. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about being assertive and respectful of your own value. And it's an English-speaking tip that will honestly transform your professional interactions. Give it a try this week.
Definitely. Let us know how it goes. Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone. It's a tough habit to break, but so worth the effort.
Absolutely. You've got this. We'll catch you next time.